Afternoon, a very good morning, or a very, very pleasant evening to all the people who have joined from all across the globe. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Minla Zoom session. We are truly delighted today to be conversing with a celebrity chef, a chef all the way from Mumbai, from the Novotel Mumbai where he currently is. None other than an award-winning chef, a chef who's made it to the World Guinness Book of Records, Jerson Fernandez. But before we go on to our guest speaker, let me tell you that Minla Zoom session is airing its 109th episode. And we started airing these episodes at the beginning of COVID during the pandemic. And this started in the year of April 2020, when we started our journey to enthusiasts, to make the people all over the globe enthusiastic, excited, keeping them informed and spreading the knowledge and keeping positivity all through the pandemic. This has now continued on a monthly basis to excite, enthuse, and inform the people globally. We are truly excited to having had conversed with amazing people through all over the globe, and today we land up at the Juhu Beach in Mumbai at the Novotel Hotel with none other than the award-winning chef Jerson Fernandez. Made it to the Guinness World Book of Records, where he baked over 200 different varieties of bread. We're going to hear all about it. He also won the Executive Chef of the Year 2023 at the Novotel Mumbai at the Juhu Beach. He has been honored by the IFCA, the Indian Federation of Culinary Association, on the International Chef's Day. He is Accor Indian's most decorated chef. He is the director of the Culinary Accor Hotels. He's the Star Chef of India. That's the award he got in 2019. The Guinness record holder of 2018 for the most varieties of bread that have been baked. He's the most creative chef. That's the award he got in India in 2016. And the list of honors continues long. He says, if I could become an executive chef after 12 years of starting as a dishwasher, anything is possible. So we are truly excited to listen to the journey of our wonderful, dear, humble soul, Jerson Fernandez. Jerson, welcome onto the Minla Zoom session. A very warm welcome from myself, Dr. Lalit Soda. And we are formally and traditionally going to welcome you with Mrs. Meenaben Khagram, who is the leading lady of the Minla Zoom session, the Iron Lady, as I may say, who I truly get inspired by, where the energy, the effort that she puts into her work. Meenaben Khagram from Nairobi, would you get on board, please, to welcome our guest speaker today, traditionally? Thank you.
Minam is from Nakuru.
Yes.
Nairobi.
Oh, Nakuru. My apologies. You are from, but you keep traveling Nakuru and Nairobi, so I get confused.
Yes. Jerson, this is for you. Can you see? Yeah?
Oh, yes, I can.
Getting a tilak.
And this, and welcome officially to our Zoom session, and lovely yellow darling.
Wow. This is so overwhelming, and this is so heartwarming. First of all, a very, very big thank you to Team Minla for having me over on this Zoom session. Thank you, Dr. Lalit. Thank you, Meena ji, for having me over. I'm extremely honored, thankful, and filled with love at the moment for this warm welcome that you've just given me. Well, I was looking forward to this Zoom session for quite some time now. And once again, profound gratitude. Thank you very much to all the listeners for taking time out and being a part of this session. Well, my introduction, I'll keep it very short. Thank you, Doctor, for that great introduction which you introduced me with. I think you've covered almost most part of it, but I think it's imperative for me to let everyone know. I had a very humble beginning in my career. I started my journey as a dishwasher. I started working as a dishwasher way back in the year 1998, 99 on the cruise ship. And I think it's from there that I picked up momentum and there was no looking back. I grew up to the ranks of an executive chef in 12 years and have worked in some of the finest brands of the world, like the Taj, the Marriott's, the Hyatt, the Oberoi's, and finally with the Accor chain of hotels, which is a French company working with the Novotel Mumbai Juhu Beach for almost 3 years now. I think it's been quite a roller coaster of a journey. I've seen a lot of ups and downs in life and more failures than successes. I think that's one reason why I have grown so quickly and a lot of learnings in my career, which has made me the kind of person I am today. And no regrets whatsoever. Life has been a very kind teacher, and looking forward to the years ahead. And I think I'll only grow stronger and better in the days to come by. Yeah. So I am a very strong believer of the very fact that there are no shortcuts to success. And I always believe those people who love to eat are always the best people in the world. A foodie by nature, love to cook and love to see people smiling, love to spread humor around, love to make friends, and love to live each day as it comes. So that's me in a nutshell, and I look forward to interacting with all of you over here. Thank
Thank
you
you
very
so
much.
much, Jerson. That's very kind of you, and I'm so truly delighted to hear your brief little introduction about yourself. But you're very humble about it, and we truly know that. But before we go on with you, Jason, I just have a little formality to complete, and that is Meenabin to introduce the Zoom session. And then we'll quickly dive into your journey as a dishwasher to an award-winning chef. Meenabin, would you like to please introduce
Global
this?
namaskar to all. Jambo, Karibu. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the flamingo city of Nakuru, where Lake Nakuru is famous for wildlife and flamingos. Nakuru County is the one where world-famous fastest runners like the first marathon runner Kipchoge's Keanu, Eliud Kipchoge, Faith are born. We also have first African, his name is James, to climb Mount Everest, right from Nakuru. We have very old Hyrex Museum and world-famous crater too. Nakuru is the fastest progressing city in the world. It is a city of opportunity. My cute cousin, Dr. Lalit, and myself, Minla Zoom, are super excited to welcome you all. And here we have joined in Minla Zoom and on Facebook Live. Monsieur, welcome to our esteemed speaker, Jerson, the international chef. Can't wait to listen to you. Baby Nabana, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you our backbone of this session, MC Dr. Lalit Soda. He is a professional speaker, chiropractor, and author. He is a recipient of many awards. He can take a wheelbarrow and go with it. Been awarded Marwa Journalist Award, Lohana Mahaparish Journalist Award. And do you know, ladies and gentlemen, what he bagged one more humanitarian award at London Parliament, and many over the years. Over to you, Lalit.
Thank you, Meenabin. Thank you very kindly for making me feel on top of cloud nine. So thank you very much. Jerson, truly excited to have this journey with you. I really want to hear about your journey, but let me tell you what, the audience is eagerly awaiting to hear a humble dishwasher to an award-winning chef. You started your introduction by saying you came from a very humble beginning. Where did your journey start? Give us a little bit about your little babyhood, then childhood, and then adulthood, because that's where you're stuck right now, at adulthood. You're not progressing from there.
That's right. Well, I was always fascinated about food, and I think coming from a family of foodies, coming from a family where food was an integral part of our lives. We all got together for lunch and for dinners, and we all had our meals together. So food revolved around our lives 24/7. Um, I come from a family of doctors, teachers, and engineers. The only chef in my entire family is me, though. And then, uh, well, I mean, my family had never imagined or rather even believed that I would be a chef or they would have a chef in the family. Someone who would take food so seriously and someone who would really want to be a chef. Um, Financial conditions weren't that good for me when I was growing. Had a troubled childhood and had to drop out of school. Um, tough life for me when I was growing up, and then I decided, to support my family, I need to go. I need to do something on my own. That's where I set about. I decided to go on the ship as a dishwasher. You couldn't you couldn't get a job as a chef on the ship in those days. You really had to start from the scratch. So that's where I began as a dishwasher. Worked for around 2 to 3 years on the ship, and then came back. Got formally educated in one of the finest institutes of India, which was again sponsored by someone. And then 3 years of formal education as a chef in Hyderabad, and was then selected by Taj to work for them as a junior chef. Worked with Taj for 3 years, completed the contract. They paid for my entire education, so the contract was completed, and then moved on with the Marriotts, went to the Oberois, worked with some of the finest brands in the world, worked in almost 14 countries across the globe, and then finally I am where I am right now. So the journey hasn't been easy at all. It was very, very difficult at the beginning with a lot of competition in and around you, and people trying to show you your place and stuff like that. But then I think I have earned quite a reputation to my name and doing quite well at the moment.
That's wonderful to hear from, as we say, from nothing to a wonderful chef. Now, just as you brought it, that you said people try to show you your place as to where you belong, and it's a competitive world. And in lots of
Correct.
fields, like I would say, in the Bollywood industry, it's very competitive. In the medical industry, it's very competitive. In the law industry, it's very competitive. How competitive is it in the chef industry?
Well, yes, it is. I would say the competition is cutthroat. Should you not know your job, you would definitely miss the bus. And I think it's imperative to stay updated with what's going on in the real world. It's imperative to know what's happening in and around you. Every day there's a new restaurant opening up. Every day there's a new cuisine which is created. Every day there are new concepts which are created in food. And if you're not updated and if you do not know what's happening, you're surely going to take a beating on that, and you're not going to do good for yourself. So it's important, you stay updated. It's important you know your job well. It's important you know your basics well. So I mean, I think eye for detail is very important in industry as well, and only those who have the passion in them will survive. It's a very tough world.
Interesting. Now, you said if you don't keep up with your industry, then you lag behind and you miss the bus. How do you personally keep up with the industry, with the new things that are coming out, with the new flavors, the new favorites of cuisines? How do you do it?
Uh, I think in more ways than one, staying connected with all my friends around the globe through internet, through various forms of internet, be it Instagram or Facebook, reading a lot of books, browsing on a daily basis, then getting to know what's happening through social media, and talking to a lot of friends, having a lot of long conversations with food lovers and conversations like these. So it really helps you stay connected with what's happening in and around the world, to stay connected with the latest trends, to stay connected with everything what is trending in the world. And I think it's important to know what's happening in and around you sitting in one place.
So being aware of pretty much what's going around via social media and via reading. Is that correct?
That's right. That's right.
Good. So I'm going back a little bit, Jerson, and because this is very interesting. You earlier said that you come from a family of doctors, accountants, lawyers, professional people in different fields, and nobody
Right.
thought you'd become a chef. When did
Yes,
you
that's right.
decide that you wanted to become a chef? Yes, you said you're a foodie, you love your food, but it's one thing to love the food and one thing to make the food.
Well, I think my my connection or my relationship with food is very different from others. When I was growing up, food was integral to my life because I think I felt I had a different relationship with food. My calling was through food, and this passion which I developed for food was when I used to help my grandmother cook in the kitchen, when I used to help my mother cook in the kitchen. So I knew I had it in me because at a very early age, I think around 7.5 or 8, that's when I first entered the kitchen and started helping my mother with her daily chores, be it chopping, be it cutting, stuff like that. And I knew, I had the knack of cooking great food. I think that's where it all began. When my friends, of my age were watching sports channels or cartoon networks or whatever for that matter, I was the one who was always hooked on to cookery shows and stuff like that. In those days, we only had Tarla Dalalji and Sanjeev Kapoor on TV. So I was always hooked on to them. I think that's where the passion began. That's where the love for food grew even more stronger. And then when I decided I wanted to be a chef, I gave it my all. And then there was no turning back. So because I couldn't start my journey as a professional chef. All I had to do was just get a start, just get a foot in the door. And I think that foot in the door came through the cruise liners when I joined the kitchen through a dishwasher. So that was a backdoor entry for me. And that's where it all began for me.
Wow. And you being a dishwasher, they recognized your capability. You started showing them your skills as to how you cook. Is that how you gained the entry to the chef level?
Oh, yes. So what used to happen is we had people from different nationalities working on the ship. So I used to always do a night shift. So in the night, the chefs used to give us a lot of work. Once we finish our dishwashing, then we used to do a little bit of cutting, we used to do a little bit of chopping, we used to do a little bit of cooking. I think that's where I build on my skills. I kind of, honed my skills over there, working with some of the finest chefs of the world. They taught me how to cook, and from there it was no looking back. And once they recognized talent and once they recognized skills, that's where they got to know I'm really made for this industry. And they started mentoring me, coaching me, and that's where it all began for me.
Wow. Now, I'll say one thing. If you ask me to make a dish, I will toast a slice of bread for you and I'll put butter and jam on it. That would be my dish for you. When you cooked your very first dish, that was, smells good, tastes good. What was that first dish?
I think it was a very simple dish made with leftover rice and leftover dal. You can call it a khichdi of some sort, but then I think that was the most simplest, the most wholesome, and the most soulful dish which I had first cooked ever in my life. And that again came from leftover food. I think it's an art, it's a skill of putting leftover food to good use. And I think not all chefs in the world have mastered that art yet.
That's outstanding to hear, putting the leftover food to use. And this is what happens. One should not be wasting food. And it is so true that if there is
Right.
a leftover, how could you sort of dress it up the next day and have it and enjoy the dish? So if you may, Jerson, give us a couple, about three, if I may ask you, three different recipes. Like you said, dal chawal, and you made something out of it like a khichdi. So what
Right.
different did you do to it the next day that tasted so different?
Well, I think it's more than the skills and talents, it's common sense. Whenever you're cooking, you also need to use what's left, or you need to make the best use of it by putting to use what you have in your house rather than looking for things outside the house. For example, you have rice, you have dal, you have the basic spices at home, you have some vegetables, mix everything up, you get a wonderful khichdi. But then you need to know the proportions, you need to know the techniques of cooking certain things, you need to know when what has to go into the recipe. I think that's imperative to note, and that's important to learn. And once you mastered that, you can do anything. For that matter, leftover chapatis can be turned into parathas, leftover sabzis can be used as stuffing for different kinds of parathas. You can use leftover rice to make fried rice. That's what the finest fried rice is made from, leftover rice. And leftover vegetables then can be made into different kinds of stuffings. Your whole vegetables can be used as pickled vegetables, pickle them up. Various ways of using leftover items.
Wow, you've answered, you've given us 5 different options. Leftover vegetables can be turned into pickle. Leftover sabji can be turned into a sandwich filling.
Stuffing, yeah.
Leftover chapati can be turned into a paratha.
Parathas, that's right.
Wow. So, look, I think a lot of audience is listening to you, but that was a very quick conversation. You gave us 5, 6 different options in just essay. So, what we would love to know is if one wanted to hear from you and connect with you on Instagram, and if you have such different things that you do post on Instagram, is that correct? You do make these things on Instagram, is
Oh
that?
yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
So how can the audience actually connect with you? Would you want to share your Instagram handle with the audience?
Oh yes, it's Jerson.Montereyjack, Jerson.Montereyjack. That's my Instagram handle. Hit me up, follow me, and I'll stay in touch with all of you.
Wonderful. Because I think, you know what, people, as you said, people learn through social media. And these days, people look at the Instagram and are looking for a quick recipe or a quick sharbat here, there, quick snack here or there, quick sandwich stuffing here or there. And let me tell you one thing. If you connect with Jerson's site on Instagram, my God, the amount of different things he prepares and just have it. It's outstanding. So I think for lovely short ideas, long ideas, quick ideas, we can get from Jerson. Connect with him on Instagram. Now, Jerson, I love this. You used your Instagram ID as Jerson Monterey Jack.
Right.
I have a question. Where does this Monterey Jack come from?
Well, a lot of my chef friends, a lot of those who've been working with me, who know me from a couple of years, they still call me Monterey, and a lot of people don't know that my real name isn't Monterey. It's Jerson Fernandez. So it's quite interesting to know how the name has stuck with me for quite some time now. So I think it began in the year 1999, where I was on my second assignment on the cruise ship, and all I did was grated Monterey cheese for all 11 hours of all the 12 hours that I worked. So was grating Monterey cheese, using my hands, and then everyone passing by who didn't know me, that who didn't know my name, called me as Jack Monterey, Jack Monterey. So that name has remained, and it's now become an identity, and people know me more by the name of Monterey than Jerson. So I mean, I'm proud of it. I'm proud it has a little story attached to it, though. But then I'm proud of it. Those were the good old days, and I don't want it to fade away. That's why the name has remained. And all those who know me since the late 90s still refer to me as Jerson Monterey Jack. So it's actually the name of a Mexican cheese,
Correct.
which is called Monterey Jack and is used in a lot of Mexican delicacies. So there you go, Jerson Monterey Jack. That's where it originated from.
Yeah, in fact, if you remember, I had to come back to you to ask you, what is your surname? Is it Monterey Jack or is it Fernandez?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So interesting story. And it's so nice when such a thing that the general public associated you with the cheese.
Right.
It's so nice
And
to
it also happens to be one of my favorite cheese. So
there you
a
go.
lot of people love Monterey Jack cheese. Yeah.
Yeah. So interesting how people get connected to different things and how they get named with it. And you're stuck with it. In fact, you've made your Instagram ID as Jerson Monterey Jack. So very
That's right.
nice. Very nice to listen to that part of your life too. Jerson, moving on, I have a question. You know what? When we were having a chat and reading about you, you are now currently in a position of the culinary director of the Novotel Mumbai, Juhu, which is a very, very honorable position to be in. How did that land in your lap? How did you get to that level? And first of all, let's address that, and then I'll ask you a couple more questions related to that. How did that happen to you?
Well, I started my career with Accor in the year 2007, when I Was working with them as a junior chef at a very junior level. Worked with them for almost 2 years and then moved to the Taj, the marriage. And I came back to them in the year 2019 when I was the executive chef for the Novotel Donna Silvia Resort in Goa. I think did some fantastic, I did a fantastic job over there. Got in a lot of new concepts and changed the face of Indian cuisine in Goa. Kind of did a lot of fusion stuff over there, earned a good name, earned a good reputation in Goa. And I think that's where everything started changing for me. And then Accor recognized my efforts, they recognized my talent, and then that's where they promoted me to Bombay to be the executive chef of this hotel in Bombay. And then from there, slowly and steadily, I started growing up the ranks. And today I'm managing all the Novotels in India as a culinary alchemist.
That's outstanding to hear. Now, you said in your little discussion just a couple sentences ago that you introduced new concepts, new combinations. And I remember having your vegan breakfast, and you had these amazing drinks. Can you share with the audience the non-alcoholic breakfast beverages that you had made? And they were outstanding, if I may say that. So if you want to share your sort of the lovely, fantastic names you had given to these drinks and the breakfast combinations that you had.
Oh, yes. So we had a diabetic friendly station where, we had everything which a diabetic would love. Everything was no sugar, I would say. We had this jamun juice where you had the seeds of the jamun fruit, which were dried and then crushed and then made into a very refreshing drink. Then we had a drink which was an infusion of neem and pudina. Then we had a drink which was an infusion of tamarind and your raw turmeric. Then we had a drink which was an infusion of barley, which was an infusion of coriander roots. So I think all in all, zero wastages over here. Even the roots and the shoots of various herbs and spices were being made use of. And I think that was a fantastic idea to start your day with, especially for the diabetic people out there.
Correct. And I think this is the unique thing about your concept, where not only did you use the leaves, the branches, but you also used the roots to create this fascinating flavor, delicious flavor, and making it very, very diabetic friendly. Because unfortunately, if you look at it, the Asian population has the highest rate of diabetes. And they're the ones who love the food, they want to enjoy the food, but if they've got these options like you had, they can certainly enjoy a good holiday with a good breakfast. So yes, I found that fascinating with the kind of juices you had, which were so diabetic friendly. Now, moving on from the culinary side of it and getting this particular role that you have, you know what, you have been described in literature that I have read about you, and you've been described as the cult icon amongst seasoned aspiring chefs. You are an incredibly accomplished and an acclaimed chef and an idol for many. How does this make you feel?
I think it makes me feel really proud of who I am today. And I think I would say I would like to dedicate all my awards, all my accolades to my team, because I truly believe you cannot win a competition or you cannot be successful without your team. And if you have a great team, I think you can achieve anything and everything, no matter which, irrespective of the industry you're working in. And I dedicate, or rather attribute, all my accolades and awards to my team, because you are only as good as your team. And without a team, you cannot achieve much in life, no matter how good or bad you are. So it's always a teamwork which makes a difference, which sets apart the best from the rest.
That is so nice and humble of you. And I'm sure the team that you work with is so proud of you as a leader and being guided by yourself. So yes, it's always team effort, and that's very humble of you to acknowledge your full team for all your awards and your accolades that you're getting. Moving on from there, there is this little secret story, and I'm going to give you a title and you'll have to talk about it. It is something about the tulsi honey and the finger millet cake. Tell us about that cake, because that actually caught my eye. Tell us about the tulsi honey finger millet
Uh,
tea cake.
well, this was, to be honest, this was a shot in the dark because I remember one fine evening I got a call from the president of IFCA, which is Indian Federation of Culinary Association, and he said, "We're coming up with 2023 being an international year of millets. We're coming up with a book of recipes made with millets, and I think only 50 chefs from the world would be contributing to this book, and you are one of them.
Wow.
So we need you to contribute a recipe to the book in the form of a cake, and it has to have millet in it. I mean, as the star ingredient of the recipe." And then I said, "I'm going to be doing a main course." He said, "No, main courses are all taken, salads are all done, desserts are all done. All you're left is with a tea recipe." So I said, "Why not do a tea cake?" And that's where the idea of doing a tea cake came up. And then I'm a big fan of wild forest honey. I'm a big fan of finger millets, and I'm a big fan of tea cakes as well. But I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do something unique where everyone would enjoy it. Kids, diabetic, everyone would enjoy it. So I didn't use any sugar in this cake. I've not used any refined flour in this cake. It's only finger millet, which is used a finger millet flour substituting the refined flour. Then you've got the wild forest honey, which is substituting refined sugar. Then you've got jaggery, which is again substituting sugar over here. So, so on and so forth. A lot of healthy ingredients, um, substituting the unhealthy ingredients away and making it a very simple, a very wholesome, and a very soulful recipe for each and everyone to try. I think it came out really, really well because it's full of grains, it's full of nuts, it's full of nutrients, and I think that's one of the most healthiest and the most delicious cakes I've ever baked so far. That's why I said it's a shot in the dark because I'd never experimented with it before, and that was the first attempt, and I got it right.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, finger millet. Am I correct to say it's ragi?
It is
Yeah. So in case
also known as
audience,
nachni.
yeah, nachni or ragi?
It's the same nachni and ragi.
It's the same thing?
Yes,
Ah, okay. Okay,
ragi.
so audience, I have learned something that nachni and ragi is the same thing, but I was going to say finger millet is ragi, and it's very widely used in England also in salads and things like that. But this was very interesting. A ragi cake. Can you imagine, with gourd, with honey, and with tulsi? And I believe this was also served to the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, it was indeed.
Yeah.
It was.
So now we are coming to Novotel, Mumbai, Meenaben and myself. And do we get a slice of the tulsi cake?
Of course, all of you will. Of course, that goes without saying.
I think any audience who's listening to us and is going to go to Novotel Juhu in Mumbai, meet Chef Jerson Fernandez or Jerson Monterey Jack and get him to bake you this outstanding tulsi honey and finger millet cake, because we are going to enjoy this cake. If the Prime Minister of India can give a 7-star to this cake, I want to taste it too. So next time when I'm coming, please bake it for us.
Surely, I will.
Is that something that is on a daily menu, or is this something just by?
So we had it as a chef special of the day,
Uh-huh.
and we have it once a week on the breakfast menu. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wonderful. So we must make it on the day you're making it. If not, you'll have to bake it for us.
I will. I will.
Wonderful. Now, you just turning the direction a little bit, you made it to the Guinness Book of World Records. Jerson, what an achievement. This is magnanimous. I love this. Tell us about how that came about. I know it's something to do with making different varieties of bread, but share your story with the audience, please.
Well, I very well remember I got a call from the institute in Hyderabad, which wanted a leader to lead the team for executing the Guinness Book of World Records. So this record was for the largest varieties of breads of the world baked at one shot. It took us almost 78 hours to achieve this feat. And so there were around 16 chefs whom I was leading, and so we made around 214 varieties of international breads non-stop. So there were some finest bakers of India working with me, and then we had some really strong mentors who were mentoring us, who were coaching us. I was leading the team, and we achieved this feat in almost 78 hours, working day in and day out. A few chefs were working in the night, few chefs were working in the day. So it was we were all working together as one cohesive force, like a well-oiled machine, and it was great fun. A lot of learnings from it. There were a few breads which we couldn't achieve making them. There were a few breads which we failed during in the course of achieving the feat. But I think overall it was a wonderful experience, quite an invigorating one, and all of us had fun, which is very very important in any competition or any record you hold. And it was very very successful. The previous record was of 178 varieties of breads baked at one shot. So this was 214 varieties of breads, and yeah, it was one of the best days of my life.
Wonderful. And it is, you see, when you accept a challenge and you work hard and prove yourself that you can do it, especially as you said, with a good team, nothing is impossible.
Yeah, and I wish, hope, and pray that the record stays and nobody breaks it ever.
That's so nice. So the record is set to break.
That's right.
Nice one, Jerson. It's also well and good. You've been honored with so many accolades. You've made it to the Guinness World Book of Records. You've been awarded this Chef of the Year, and so on and so on and so on. What next?
I think awards and recognitions and accolades are just a way of acknowledging your hard work. They are just a way of letting you know the good job that you're doing. And I never think of, or rather, I never expect or, work hard with the sole intent of winning awards. I just do my job and let the award department take care of it. As simple as that. I'm never in any anticipation of winning any awards. I just keep working hard, taking each day as it comes. Every day is a learning experience for me. And awards will come, fame will come, money will come when it's time for it to come. All you need to do is keep consistently working hard and keep growing as a chef, and more importantly, keep growing and evolving as a human being. I think that's more important than anything else. You may be the greatest chef in the world, you may be the finest skilled person in the world, but if you do not know how to respect others, and if you do not know how to respect your tools, your ingredients, your equipments, what a shame.
What a strong message for the audience out there. Yeah, work hard, but respect your tools, respect your food, and especially if you're going to become a chef. Yeah, it's being humble and respecting everyone. I think that makes a good personality out of you. Jerson, that was a very important point you shared. Thank you for saying that.
Thank you.
Moving on. So you've been doing all this good work, all this hard work for all these over a decade now. 12 years, did you say? Yes?
All in all, around 16 years now.
16 years, yes, correct. Now, who inspires you? Simple question. With all this hard work that you've been doing, who is inspiring you?
I think a lot of chefs I look up to inspire me. Um, if you ask me to name one, I would say it's definitely Chef Gordon Ramsay, um, and many more. But then I follow Chef Gordon Ramsay very very closely, and he's one of my role models. And if you ask me whom do you want to be like, I would definitely say I want to be like him someday.
Wonderful. Gordon Ramsay, the big guy, yes. So have a good role model.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what, Jerson, you have actually entertained a lot of, as far as I know, a lot of Bollywood celebrities. who have come and tried your dishes and really spoken so highly about them. Share some of your experiences of one or two celebrities, if you don't mind, because I've seen you with them on Instagram, so it's public knowledge. Share one or two experiences is, I think, I'm forgetting the name of that star. Oh, as you continue your conversation, the name will come to my mind and I'll ask you that. But name a couple celebrities, if you may, and what were their favorite dishes when you made it for them?
Well, loads of them. The Bachchans, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan is a vegetarian, so he loves having his khichdi with the moong dal khichdi. Then you've got Abhishek Bachchan and Aishwarya Rai. Abhishek Bachchan loves spicy food. So he's very fond of spicy food. He's very fond of sweets. The Rasagulla and the Gulab Jamuns are his favorite sweets. Uh, Talking about Sanjay Dutt, um, he has an inclination towards dishes which are rich in desi ghee. So we make a very special chicken for him by the name of Sanju Baba chicken,
Oh,
which is his
put it a
favorite
name
dish as
too.
well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then talking about Akshay Kumar, talking about Govinda, talking about Chunky Pandey, talking about hello. I think I
Yes.
lost that.
No, you're here. You're here with us.
Okay. So talking about Chunky Pandey, Govinda, Akshay Kumar. So they're all fond of Asian food. They love the Manchurians, they love the manchows, they love the fried rices, they love the noodles. Talking about the South Indian stars, I think they're all very, very fond of the biryanis. They're very, very fond of the Mughlai dishes that we serve over here. Karina Kaif and Karina Kapoor and Katrina Kaif are very fond of the fox nuts, the makhana. So
Oh,
we make a
Makana.
very, yeah, so we make a very famous beetroot and roasted walnut makhana salad for them. Uh, yeah, so on and so forth. I mean, everyone has their own set of preferences, own set of dietary restrictions, own set of to-dos which they like doing when they're having their meals as well. Uh, Accompanying sauces, accompanying beverages, so on and so forth. Yeah.
Wonderful. Now, one thing I'm going to ask you, these makanas are very, very popular. I actually personally made a video out of makanas and the health benefits of makanas, the fox nuts. It's outstanding. So this particular recipe of yours with makana, beetroot, walnut salad, is that something that you have on Instagram? Aha, Chef Jerson Monterey Jack has gone. You need to unmute, Jerson. Yes. You've unmuted and now you need to put your video on. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes these issues do happen with network and Wi-Fi. So we are experiencing that kind of difficulty right now. You are muted, so we'll have to unmute you yourself. Are we okay at our end, Minabin? Ali, if you can check. Jerson has unmuted himself. We need his video on. Jerson?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, but we can't see you.
One second.
You're unmuted. You are muted now. Okay. So these are little technical difficulties that we do experience in the modern online world that we are going through. Ah, there we go. He's come back. Are you here with us, Jerson?
Yes, yes, I can hear you and see you.
Okay, wonderful. I can hear you and see you very, very clearly. Jerson, my question continues. My question was, this particular salad that Katrina Kaif and Kareena Kapoor like, the makhana, walnut, beetroot salad, is there a recipe of that is posted on your Instagram?
I can share it with you over an email, or I can WhatsApp it to you, then you can share it with all our viewers as well.
Share it with us on WhatsApp, or if you have a picture of that particular salad that you've taken, and if you're going to share it on Instagram, or if you share it with me personally, then I can share it with our
I will for sure. I will.
Thank you, because there are such numerous health benefits of makhana, fox nuts, and the richest source of calcium which is very important for bones. And it's a highly recommended food to consume with the least number of calories, if you may say. Is that correct?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. And makhanas is something that I absolutely love. So, hey, ready to experiment for a salad over there.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Now, I'll ask you another question. First of all, thank you for sharing this little Bollywood secrets with us that Abhishek Bachchan loves his Rasagula and Gulab Jamun. I think it's always nice to know these little knickknacks about some people, celebrities,
That's
and what they like. So thank you for doing that. Now, Jerson, you've been through a wonderful journey, as you said, from a dishwasher to a award-winning chef to now a director of culinary department. My God, that's a huge journey for you from nothing to something. Yeah, well, when you start from the dishwasher stage and get so high, what advice would you give to some of the budding chefs who want to sort of look at your journey, get inspired by you, and get on to higher levels? What's the advice you would give them?
very, very simple. Today, if you ask the budding chefs why do they want to be a chef, 9 out of 10 would say I want to be a chef because I want to come on TV, because I want to be a celebrity chef. I think it's imperative to note that every celebrity chef has gone through the grind. He's been there, he's done that, he's worked extremely hard in his early days of his career. Basics are very, very important. You need to have a very strong foundation in case you want to have a very bright career. So you need to work hard and focus on your basics. You need to be very, very patient. Your time will come to rise and shine. You need to be very persistent. You need to keep working hard, and you need to be extremely determined in achieving your goals. Every day is a new learning experience. You'll experience an equal set of failures and success. You need to know how to react to success and failure at the same time. And stay grounded no matter what. Be humble, help everyone as much as you can, and never stop smiling. I think these are the few tips which would benefit everybody, chef, for sure.
That's so kind of you to share that. Be consistent, be persistent, and have some new innovative ideas. Thank you for sharing that, Jerson. Just as a mention, and I'm going to bring this gentleman on live just in a few minutes, we have a very legendary business tycoon from Kenya, and his name is Mr. Manu Chandaria, and he's 90 plus and still going very, very strong. In a few minutes, Manu Bhai, we're going to get you live before I finish with Jerson. So please hang on, don't go away. We are looking forward to listening to your travel journey with all your hotels and your food that you have been consuming. In fact, while you're here, let's do this. Manu Bhai, welcome to the Minla Zoom. Jerson, that is Mr. Chandaria from Kenya, a business tycoon who has gone through all over the globe. And he's one of the persons who's quite a fond foodie too, I believe. And Manu Bhai, if you can share your experience, please.
Namaste,
Well,
Manu.
namaste. One has to be at it. You cannot live it. You got to live with it. And you want to get somewhere, you will. But that will must be persistent, constant, all the time. You can make it.
Thank you so much for that positive comment, Manu Bhai. And tell us a little bit about your experiences when you've been traveling and the food that you've been consuming.
Well, I'm a Jain, so there are lots of limitations.
Okay.
I'm a pure vegetarian. And in my diet also I don't have onion and garlic. So that also takes out quite a bit. But I enjoy food wherever I go. Most of the people know that I'm not going to eat certain things. But basically, I'm a food lover. I love food. So there's no argument. And many a times my wife says, I have 8 meals a day.
That's interesting. But I'll tell you what, Manu Bhai, if we get a chance, we should get our chef Jerson to Kenya to cook some good food for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Will be my pleasure.
That would be wonderful. Manubhai, thank you always for supporting Minla's Zoom session. Thank you for supporting Meenaben and myself. We're truly honored. Jerson, Mr. Chandaria is it 94? How young is he?
Yeah, well, in 3-4 months' time, I'll start my 95th.
Aha, look at that gentleman. And still going strong. That is the power of loving good food.
As I keep telling everyone, the people who love to eat are the best people in the world, and
There
God
you go.
blesses them abundantly.
There you go. And he's one such personality. Thank you, Manubhai, for coming live. Thank you very much. Jerson, before we're fast approaching time, but I want a couple questions answered from you. What is your top specialty dish that you will say, this is your signature dish? Jerson Fernandez.
Well, lots of them, but I think I like to keep it simple. I work a lot on zero wastage menus. When I say zero wastage menus, is using the not so, or the rather the undesired cuts of vegetables, cuts of fruits, cooking food from the peels and the leftovers, of different fruits, vegetables, root vegetables, ginger peels, garlic peels, churning out some magic from them. That's what I specialize in, or I've been specializing in the last few years. And there are a lot of dishes which I've come up with where, you know, the undesired cuts of fruits and vegetables have been put to the best use. And yeah, so I think zero wastage menus is what I specialize in, or rather, which I love doing. And I think it is important for us to know there are a lot of people in the world who sleep hungry every night and who are dying out of starvation. So it's high time we realize the importance of educating and reducing food wastages.
That's outstanding. Very nice. Any books you're writing?
Not at the moment, but yes, in talking terms with a few publications who are approaching me for writing a book on this. So maybe very soon we should be having one.
That would be truly exciting. And I think we await as the audience. And I think I like the zero wastage that you've been talking about, consuming every little bit of a fruit, of a vegetable to make sure that we can consume it. So this zero wastage is a very good concept. And hey, keep us posted if you're doing any of these books or writing a book about your cooking and everything. We need to know. So guys, connect with Jerson on Instagram. That's where we're going to find out all about his new happenings. Is that correct, Jerson?
That's right. That's right.
Wonderful, wonderful. This has been an exciting chat with.
I think Manu sir needs to say something.
Yes, Manubhai. Meenaben, if you can unmute Manubhai and so that he can. Yes, Manubhai, you're live.
Okay.
You've muted yourself. Unmute yourself. Yes.
Okay. My wife has written a book on rice. So I'd like to send him a book of rice. It's about 130 different varieties, how to fix rice.
Wow. That's very nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank
So it's on his way to come to you.
Absolutely. If we can get that book sent over either to Meenaben or
yes,
Meenaben is probably the best because she's coming to Mumbai very soon.
Okay.
And we'll make sure that Jerson gets it.
Okay, sure.
That's
Thank you,
very
Manu. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And your lovely wife, is she there, Manubhai? Is Arunaben there?
Yeah, Arunaben is here.
So let's see the author of this wonderful book. She's.
Thank you.
Hello, Arunaben.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Wonderful. So we look forward to getting your book on the 120 different ways of making rice.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's very nice. It would be interesting to see what their rice dishes are all about, right, Jerson?
That's right.
Yeah. Manubhai, thank you very much. Now,
Thank you.
fast approaches to our next and the very almost final section of the Minla Zoom session. And this is none other than the very, very popular Minla Rapid Fire Round. Jerson, are you happy to play with the Rapid Fire Round?
Yes, very much.
Welcome to the Minla Zoom session Rapid Fire Round with Chef Jerson Monterrejec Fernandez. Jerson, the first The first word or two words. Novotel, Mumbai.
Home, second home.
The name Gordon Ramsay.
Inspiration.
One memory from Novotel, Goa.
COVID.
COVID. I thought you were going to say meeting me in Goa.
I met you in Goa, I met you in Bombay. You're always in my heart. So it's not necessary to go.
Thank you. Jerson, your favorite dish?
Butter chicken.
Do you eat street food?
I love street food.
If so, what is your favorite street food?
Vada pav.
Vada pav. Lovely. Most popular cuisine?
Goan cuisine.
Your favorite pastime activity?
Listening to music.
Your idea on a healthy breakfast?
Oats with pomegranate juice.
Your ultimate goal?
To open a restaurant which serves food from, a zero wastage menu.
Your choice, coffee or tea?
Neither.
Then what?
Milk.
Milk. Which milk do you prefer? Cow's milk, goat's milk, soy milk?
As long as it's milk, doesn't matter.
Ah, very nice. Your favorite holiday destination?
London.
Ah, awaits you, Jerson. Your motto in life?
To be the best chef in the world.
Wonderful. And you know what? One thing I've seen about you, you're not just a foodie, you are a healthy individual. So you eat well, but you exercise well. How
Right.
often do you go to the gym?
I don't go to the gym, but then I have my own ways of exercising. It can either be at home or going for a quick run in the park or just brisk walking through the day or lifting weights at home.
Perfect. But this is daily or?
4 or 5 times a week, I would say.
Thank you. A very popular Christmas dish or dinner that you will be preparing?
The Christmas pudding and the Christmas plum cake.
No, lovely. The city of Mumbai.
Home.
Your top rated dessert.
I think it's going to be the chocolate mousse with truffle oil, vanilla flavored truffle oil.
This is
Sounds
just
interesting.
mouth-watering dishes that you're talking about. Thank you. Your choice out of the 3 actresses, Bollywood actresses, your top favorite. Katrina Kaif, Deepika Padukone, Kareena Kapoor.
I think my wife.
That wasn't a choice given.
I don't have a choice. I need to go home tonight.
Lovely. That is so wonderful of you, Jerson. Thank you very much for participating in the rapid fire round. The last question says Dr. Lalit Soda's rapid fire round.
I'm sorry, I lost you, I think.
Okay. The last question. What did you think about Dr. Lalit Soda's rapid fire round?
Better than the best.
Thank you very much. Are you trying to say better than Karan Johar then?
Better than everybody.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this quickly brings us to the end of the rapid fire round with Chef Jerson Fernandez on the Minla Zoom session. Yes, there's a message that has come up.
Yeah, I can see Manuji showing us the book. That's a
Yes.
wonderful book.
Ah, The World of Rice. Yes, we're looking forward to receiving that, Manubhai. 1 copy
Wow.
for Jerson, 1 copy for me, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Manuji. Honored to meet you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Lalit. Thank you, Meenaji. Thank you, everyone, for watching me and being so patient and kind. Thank you. Lots of love from Mumbai.
Wonderful, wonderful celebrity, wonderful personality, a humble human being. What I liked about this session the most was one of your comments you just made. I said, I thought you'd remember meeting me in Goa. You said, I met you in Goa, I met you in Mumbai, but you are in my heart. My God. Thank you, Jerson. I always wish to remain in your heart.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Lots of love. Take care. Take good care of yourselves.
Yeah,
We'll see
before you go, Minaben, we would like to close the session with a formal closure. Minaben,
Yes,
unmute. Good.
a journey to all. This is my pleasant and humble duty to end the session with the heartiest thank you to our international chef, Jerson. Asandisana, thank you all. Thank you all, beautiful souls. Asandisana to all the viewer on Facebook Live and those who have logged live on this Zoom session. Can't end my thank you without saying big thank you to my cute cousin, Dr. Lalit Soda, and our co-star.
Ali.
Hi.
Hi everyone.
Bye.
All
Mamuji, please keep me in your prayers and blessings.
Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you. You take care.
Yeah, stay around, Jerson, for only about 2-3 minutes. We're going to, everybody, if anybody wish to say anything to you for 1 or 2 minutes.
Bhairavi Ganatra just left the session. I think, Bhairavi, if you are able to come on live, she's a wonderful personality from London, and she always appreciates the Zoom session, and she sent a couple messages about the vegetarian food and everything, and really thanking Jerson